Hello, everybody. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Come on in, everybody. Trying to figure out this book. Trying to figure out where the middle of the signatures is. Yeah. Hello, Mary. Hi, Linda Patrick. Hi, Dar. You're doing fantastic. That is good news, Cindy. That is some good news right there. Come on in, everybody. I am here on Friday. I know, it's been a while since I've seen you guys. Trying to figure out where the middle of these signatures are. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So come on in and grab a seat, get something to drink if you need it. It is hot here again. I'm telling you what, it is hot here again. It's supposed to be like 95 or some crazy thing tomorrow. What is up with that? What? It's supposed to be fall. Am I correct? Hi, Mickey. How's everybody? What's your weather like where you guys are? Who knew that finding the center of a signature would be such a challenge in a sewn binding book? Really? Okay. All right. Come on in, come on in. It's cold, frost everywhere. Cindy, where are you located? It is Happy Drama Free Friday, isn't it? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm telling you, I found this book on my bookshelf. I don't know why I saved it. I have no idea why I saved it. But it seems like a good one to tear apart because it's crazy. Whoever wrote this book, it was written, I know I probably shouldn't tell you guys this because somebody's going to say, oh, you should save it. I'm not going to save it, okay? So we're just going to go there right off the bat. It was published in 1916, which is 5 years after my mom and dad were born. And it is not exactly what you would call edifying. It's not. So, therefore, we're going to tear it up and do something else with it. It's called Stories Children Need. Stories Children Need. That should give you a pretty good idea. Yep. So, yes. So we're going to just kind of play around with this. I don't even know where this book came from. It doesn't have anybody's name in it that I recognize. It's kind of a cool book in some ways, as far as, you know, the pages are all old, and it's by the Milton Bradley Company in Springfield, Massachusetts. It's kind of a neat old book. We'll look at it in a minute. Hi, Evelyn. Let's see, where did I see? Evelyn, it's gloomy and cool. Wow. Mary McCauley, good to see you. You're hot in Central Texas. It's real hot here today for some reason. I'm going to a picnic later today, so I guess that's good. It's good picnic weather. Rain, oh, from the hurricane. Did you get any damage, Dar, from the hurricane? I kind of lost touch because I was kind of out of the loop for a few days. Hello, Sharon. Good to see you. Franna, hello, hello. You missed me? Yep, everything's fine. Everything is fine. Hi, Andrea. Good to see your name in the chat. It's good to see everybody. So, yeah, it is Drama Free Friday all day long. So we'll look more at this book in a little bit. We will look more at this book in a bit. All right, so I kind of know where I stopped. I found a random story in this just a little bit ago. Let's see. I'll read you some of the titles of some of the sections in this in a little bit. This is like, ooh, it's hard to believe that people actually thought these were good for children, or that children needed to hear these stories. We will look at them in a minute. I wish I'd marked the one I wanted to read to you and I forgot. Anyway, so it is good to see you guys. It's good to be back. It is good to be back with you today. I don't know where that story went that I was looking at, because I read it and I'm like, whew. Oh well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. It is Drama Free Friday. My name is Barb Owen, and I'm from HowToGetCreative.com, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being with me. I don't seem to have any mods here at the moment. Somebody will come in, I'm sure. A Chance is apparently downstairs. He has decided right now that he's going to reside most of the time in the lower level of the house. I live in a split, it was a split foyer, then we built this section onto the house when my mom was here, so it became a tri-level, and so he likes to stay in the lower level of the house at the moment. He will rotate and choose different places where he likes to be, and at the moment he has a specific chair downstairs and he likes it, and so he likes to stay down there. And if he figures out that I'm talking, because his hearing is still quite good, if he hears that I'm talking, he will show right up here, but he will announce his presence from way out in the foyer all the way through here. So if he comes in here, you'll hear him. Trust me. Trust me. Just branches from the big old trees. Gotcha, Dar. Gotcha. I'm glad you didn't have any damage. That's good. It's gorgeous in Seattle. Nice. Hi, Purple Nana Linda. Good to see you. You'll behave, you promise. Ooh, it's no fun if everybody behaves. Just no fun at all. So, what should we talk about? I have a whole bunch of useless facts to share with you today, because that's what we do here. We have useless facts. Because there's too much crap going on in the world, too much drama, and this is Drama Free Friday, where we practice, if at all possible, we practice no drama. You know, if you're here and you want to discuss politics or religion, this is not the place to do it. You need to go somewhere else to do that. It's not that I don't have strong opinions and beliefs about all those subjects. But it doesn't do any good for us to argue about it here, or, you know, there are some places that love to do that. I don't. And so I'm here to give everybody a break, including myself. So there you go. It is. Life is too short to always have to behave. I had to behave and be serious for so much of my life. You know, I don't do that anymore. I mean, not that I'm... Anyway, we'll just let that go. So I was out of town for a week. Hey, Linda. Hello to Tim. Say hello to Tim for me. I saw the zines that you guys did, Linda and Tim. That's part of the zine swap. And I believe Janet said, hey, Mama is learning. Good to have you here. I think I heard Janet say that you and Tim had the same prompts and that each of you did your zines. And I'll tell you what, that was fun. That was fun to see. Tim's with you today. Well, hey, Tim. I really liked your zine. I thought your zine was great. Linda, I thought yours was too. I like the different takes on them, on the same prompts. That was fun to see. I don't do participate in swaps just because I just really don't. I'll make a commitment and then not be able to keep it. So I just don't do that, you know. Anyway, so I was out of town. I was in the mountains of Colorado for a week, high up in the upper altitude. The weather was just so nice. I mean, had to have the heat on. It was that nice. And then you come back to this sweltering heat and you go, wah! Yeah, it's a little... Hi, Millie. All the way from Italy. Good that you're checking in with us. I'm so glad you're here. It was... No, we were 2 miles high. It wasn't 1 mile high. It was 2 miles high. It's way on up there. So... that has an impact on, you know, when you're used to being at, I think we're, 580 feet here. Hi, Denise. And I was at almost 11,000 feet. It's a big switch. So it's funny because you kind of feel like when you're in that elevation, you kind of feel like my head, and there may be people that don't feel like this, but my head kind of the first few days goes, I'm not quite sure where I am. It's like, it takes a little bit to get your equilibrium established. So, Denise, are you in Colorado, or do you just enjoy Colorado? It does get you, and you have to drink a lot. It gave you the big head, too. Yeah, it does feel kind of like you got a balloon on your head. You know, like from here up, everything is like, you know. And they always tell you drink lots and lots and lots of water. And I was chucking water just as fast as possible. And what part of Colorado, Denise? And I drank lots of water, and that helps. Some people get altitude sickness and have headaches and all that kind of stuff. That isn't anything I've had trouble with, but I just can't move real fast for a couple of days. Not that I move fast most of the time, let's be honest. So anyway, that's where I was, and I am back home for, how long am I here? A couple of weeks. I will give you, just so you can put it on your calendar in case you're interested, not that anybody needs to know this, but in case you're interested. I will be here all of October, I believe, except for the 16th. Yes, on the 16th I will be gone. That's a Monday. So I will be gone on that Monday. I will not be streaming because I'm going to get to go celebrate a birthday party for a 2-year-old. My great-granddaughter is turning 2. And so I'm going to get to go and visit her. So I'm so excited. Am I a photo bug? Well, I do take lots of pictures. Oh, Canyon City. Yeah, I went right by the turnoff to Canyon City. Denise, maybe sometime when I'm out there, we can get together. That would be great. I would love to meet you. Yeah. Hi, Shue. I know, she's almost 2 and she is so adorable. I have to show you a picture of her. Okay. You guys will not believe this. You probably will. Of course, she's the cutest kid in the entire world, you know. But this picture, my granddaughter sent me. So this is mommy, granddaughter, and great-granddaughter. Okay, let's see if I can get it where you guys can see it pretty easily. Okay, so my granddaughter sends me this picture. This is the one turning 2, obviously. And my granddaughter sent me this picture right after she'd taken it, and she says to me, this is right after my great-granddaughter, this is her pose, right after she says, "Chee." Is that not the funniest picture? Don't you just wonder what's going on inside the head of a child like that? I just loved it. I loved it. It's already living in my journal. I will do that, Denise. That would be great. Denise, are you on Instagram or Twitter? Hey, Barbara, good to have you here. Are you on either Instagram or on Twitter/X? If you are, would you maybe contact me either one of those places? Instagram's probably the easier one for me because I see the notifications quite clearly. If you would DM me so we could make contact, that would be great, because I'll be back out there at some point before too long, I think. Isn't she cute, though? I mean, what goes through the mind of a little kid? So, because she's turning 2, and I'm not around her a lot of times. Hello, Barbara Willoughby. Oh, so you're in Utah where the elevation is high. Your migraines are so much worse here. Wow, even after 16 years. Wow. Okay, well, that's fine, Denise. We'll make contact some way. I was just trying to make contact in an easy way. We'll do it sometime. I will make myself a note just so that I kind of remember it. Otherwise, I go to sleep, sleep on it, and it kind of goes bloop out of my head. Denise, did you buy, by any chance, any of the Mandala Madness cards? Because if you did, I'll have your contact info there. I can look it up. I always enjoy meeting people, when I can, when I travel. I didn't travel for so long. I didn't go anywhere for so long. I mean, for me to in 2018, I went to CHA, whatever it was called then, Creativation. And that was the first time I'd been away from home in years. And now I've been away from home a lot. Okay, I will look up. I can find your information there. Okay, I'm just making myself a note. Okay, got it. Welcome, Barbara. Barbara Willoughby. I didn't know. I haven't seen you in the chat before, I don't think, so I'm glad you're here. Welcome to everybody. So anyway, that's where I was, in the high mountain area. Hello, Ruth Edwards. I'm going to be in your neck of the woods in a couple of weeks, celebrating a great-granddaughter's 2nd birthday. Yes, I am. All right, what should we talk about? Let's see. Show you a couple things, and then we will get going here. Start cleaning your house now. Don't do that. I won't promise I won't come to your house. We'll meet somewhere for coffee. How about that? And then nobody has to clean. So, do I have anything else to tell you? The rest of it, once we start doing something, I will, we start doing something, I'll tell you more about it. I know, right, Ruth? Yes, already. So this was the book. We've worked on this a few times, and I honestly don't remember exactly what it was the last time that we talked. The last time that we streamed, but I know we did the cover. The cover this is actually the front. See, this is what, when a book looks the same front and back, this is why I put something on it that signifies what the front is. Anyway, so we did this. This was an old book. I have the book block somewhere. I cut the book block out of it. We covered the entire cover. This is jelly plate printed fabric that we did here. It's nothing fancy. It was just a way to get color on the fabric easily. That's what is reinforcing the spine. This was a piece of paper that I did using prompts years ago that I really hated, and I don't know quite why my eyes lit upon it, shall we say, because I've been reading this crazy old book, Stories Children Need, and that's kind of how they talk in that book. But I saw this and I thought there was enough paper so I would just use it. And once I cut it down, it's that same old story about puke on a page. That's kind of what this was, just using prompts, and whatever the prompt said, I just did it. And then I didn't like it when it was done, so I chucked it in a pile. Decided to use it for this. And once it was cut down and added to these book covers, I really liked it. You know? It worked just fine for that. Anyway, so the inside spine and the outside spine are both covered with muslin that's been printed on the jelly plate. And then these were the signatures. So I put in 5 signatures in this book. They're stitched in with wax linen. And I did this, I think, on a Monday night stream. So most of this process is recorded someplace. And this is truly a junk journal. It is, the cover was junk. The pages are just stuff I had on hand. I didn't buy anything to do this. And then I think the last time we streamed, I went through and started drawing things in here. I had penciled in some of the things, and this is one that I had penciled in. And so I colored in some of the, just with a black permanent marker. And then I just started reacting to the things that were in the book, because I really didn't plan a whole lot about this, but just reacting. So I drew a butterfly. This was on my desk. This is just a piece of drywall tape, and I found in my husband's stuff. I really like this kind of tape. I'd learned about this back with Donna Downey when she was streaming on Wednesdays. Can't remember what the name of her thing was, but anyway, she was doing her Wednesday streams there for a while in an art journal. This is years ago, and I learned about this tape. Well, I shared it with Clausman, and he goes, "That's pretty good tape." So we found some. Used to be able to find it real easily, and then it went away, and you'd have to order it. And so we found it one time at Lowe's, I think it was, and bought a couple of rolls of it, and he loved it in construction stuff. Well, once he passed away, then I went through all of his stuff and reclaimed the roll of tape. Yeah, I reclaimed. I know, I like the colors too. I did too after I got it done. Anyway, so I just reacted to what was there. Like, this was the front cover of this magazine, and this, I don't know what he's supposed to be looking at, the grandpa person, or what the little boy's supposed to be looking at, but I decided to give him something to look at. So I drew a Christmas ornament because it just seemed easy enough. And this is the center of the signature. I like this old refrigerator and seeing what's pictured in this refrigerator. So I didn't do anything to this yet, but I might. And I haven't done anything here. Most of these I will probably draw in, and I may, I actually got out my acrylic paints. I could do it with watercolor, but if you do it in acrylic, the watercolor's not going to reactivate. So just more flowers. Oh, bless her heart. I wasn't very careful. I should have put cardstock on the back of this. This is the other part of the dog, the other page for the dog, and I cut off the little girl's head. I was so careful to keep the dog intact over on this side. Okay, this is the opposite side of this. You can see there's the dog. But what I didn't realize is I cut off the little girl's head. So I took one of my goofy relatives and just, because it's just purely nonsense. It's just pure nonsense. I may still put some cardstock on the back of that. And here's some more things that are penciled in. I drew, some of them. So anyway, some of the charts and things that I used are right side up. Some are upside down, and that's just the nature of using books like this. This was an ad that I wanted to hide some words in it, so I just put one of my mandala stickers on top of it. Anyway, and then here is a This is a tag that came, it was from product packaging, so I'm going to turn it into a tag at some point. But there's some of the penciled in things. So anyway, I like this kind of form. Okay, so there's that. And then we also, this is just by way of review. I know, right, Barbara? I like it too. I just need to put some cardstock on it so that it's a little sturdier, because that is definitely not going to stand the test of time. But, you know, who cares, really? In the whole scheme of things, it's just for fun anyway. It's just for fun. So this one was made from an envelope, and all of this is based from this book, Treasure Bookmaking. This is by Natasha here on Treasure Books on YouTube. This is her book. If you like the concept of junk journals, or you don't know what a junk journal is, this is a really good reference. And it's a new book, has not been out too long. And so I would encourage you to order the book if you are interested in things like that, and also subscribe to her YouTube channel. She's located in Australia, I believe. So this was another one that she showed using a brown envelope, you know, mailing envelope. And so I chose a nice big envelope, and then realized I should have chosen a smaller one because I had to cut this one down. It was too big. And then I think I showed you the signature, and we did some things on it, but I've since finished putting it together, so I thought I would show it to you. So this is a piece of rice paper. It's one piece of rice paper that I covered the outside with. This has been done with a jelly plate, and I did this a long time ago. The tags on here are, these are the small one and the big one are clothing tags, but they were so nice because they were made out of a really kind of a pretty thick chipboard, and so I covered them with some of my paste papers on both sides and then inked around the edges. They have nothing on them at the moment. They might have something or they might not. This is a dog tag. So, and by a dog tag, I mean the kind of dog tag that you get when you either license your dog or have them give them rabies shots, and you'll get tags. And the tags are different shapes. So, let me show you what I'm talking about, because I just put them away. When I was looking, you know, I always have some from my dogs. I don't know. You know how it is. You save all this crap, right? Because you have to. And so I've done these in some different classes. But these are they're really interesting because they come in different shapes, which is really nice. Let's see. So you can see there's a shield and this bell and whatever that shield shape is. So anyway, they come in different shapes. And then I put the various papers. These are papers that I did, so they're ones that I did. And I try to do different papers on the two sides because I do use them as tags. Hey, Joan. Hello, Becky. Good to have you here. It does kind of look like an acorn, doesn't it? I don't know what it's supposed to be. Anyway, so these are all paste papers that I used on there. And they make a nice sound. I don't know if you can hear them, but when they clink against each other or other metallic kinds of things, they make a really neat sound. So I use these frequently. I use these on the soul support dolls that I do because I like to embellish them with all kinds of stuff. And so they're really nice as tags. And what you can do, where's Ann? Did I miss Ann? Ann, hi Ann, good to see you. Sorry, I was like, sometimes I have the hardest time seeing names. What I did is I went to my local veterinarian where my animals go. I went in there one day and I said, do you have any extra tags, like expired tags or anything for the animals? Okay, let me show you what I got. The guy looked in the closet behind the desk and he goes, yeah. He says, would this be enough? Okay, would this be enough? Yeah, I think that'll be enough. So he gave me the jar with all the tags in it. Okay, now the ones that I keep are these are all new, pretty much. But the ones that I keep are the ones that come off of my dog. And so the thing about it coming off of my dogs is that I don't know how, especially Muppet, how she does it, but she would crimp up her tags. I don't know if I've got any of them in here. Yeah, like this one. Okay, this is one of her tags. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but somehow she's crimped the edges. See that? I don't know what she does. I had another one in here that was even way worse than that I don't know why I kept, but just how it is. I'm not, every one of you knows that we have this compulsion to keep this crap. Anyway, so if you have an animal and you've never thought of using their tags in some sort of artistic way, keep them, or go to the vet and say, do you have any expired, rabies tags or any of that? I didn't know they even came in shapes. I didn't even know that. So anyway, it's just a thought. So anyway, as I was telling you, that is where these tags come, this tag, the middle one, came from. Okay? Exactly, Barbara. She's saying that Natasha's story is heartbreaking but inspiring as well. Absolutely. Yeah. I did see that video, and it is very much inspiring and heartbreaking. This is a plastic button that I had in my stash of stuff. I got at Walmart or something, bought a stash of these for the colors, and so I followed the instructions about, there's underneath here, there is a circle, several circles of cardstock. I don't know if you can see them, but there are circles that I punched out so they were the same size, glued them together and glued them under the button after I had put thread on here. So it looks like it's been stitched onto the cover, but it hasn't. And so I glued the little circles to the button after I put some thread on it, and then I glued the whole thing to the cover for the closure, so there's nothing coming through it. Okay, so easy peasy. It was pretty much directly from what Natasha did, just because I was like, well, let's try this her way. So if you do this kind of a closure, I'm going to give you a couple of hints. When you do this, I punched the circles as close to the size of the button as possible. So I punched them an inch. I should have gone at probably 3/4 of an inch, because the whole point of this is to have elevation between the cover and the button, so that there's a space to wind your closing cord around. So yeah, I kind of failed on that. Well, it was after I'd glued it down to this flap that I went, oh, that's not a good idea. So then I wasted all kinds of time, okay? All kinds of time trying to figure out how to close this darn book. And I finally thought, I tried different kinds of twines. I tried all different kinds of things because I wanted something that was kind of decorative but didn't stick out too much. So what I ended up finally doing is I'm going through all of my sewing materials and supplies and stuff. I found this elastic thread. And this elastic thread is actually something that you can stitch over on the sewing machine. You cannot run it through the eye of your needle. You can put it in the bobbin of your needle and sew with it, or you can use it in a couching application where you put the elastic thread down and you stitch over the top of it. And you can shear the fabric, okay, gather the fabric. Hello, Dorothy. And hello to anybody that I missed coming in. So what I ended up doing was I made a loop of it, tied a big heavy knot, threaded it through a heavy needle, and then I went through the same stitching hole as the signature is stitched through. So I just pulled it through and then just made it a loop tight enough so I could actually just loop it around the button to keep it closed. And the thread the elastic thread is small enough that it will stay hooked under that button, but it's also floppy enough that I think the book can grow. And if it doesn't, if it needs more, I have a lifetime supply of this elastic thread because I used to teach sewing classes, and so I have a lot of this, so I can replace it. No big deal. All right, so here's the signature. This outside cover is covered in one continuous piece of rice paper. The inside is covered in scrapbook paper that I found on hand. So this and this was one piece, this was another piece, and this was another piece, and I left this pocket, the opening of the envelope, open so I can put, I don't know what, but I could put something in there if I wanted to. Okay? This center section in here, you can see this little bit of red sticking through. This was something I had left over in my stash. It was from the Duck, this was years ago, this is from the Duck brand company. That was adhesive, pre-adhesive backed fabric. And so I put a strip in there to reinforce the spine so I could stitch through it and not worry about it falling apart on me. And these, I think we put these together, but I don't remember for sure. But this was an old calendar. And so I love this kitty cat. First of all, I've been doing on a food program for shaping my body up a little bit more. And I love this kitty. This says 30, so this kitty weighs 30 pounds. So it's kind of marking this point in time. This kitty is 30 pounds. And this kitty's name is Stretch, which I find hysterical. Yeah, isn't he funny? I love him. I've felt like that many times in my life. Now, again, when you do things like this, part of your pages, like a calendar page, part of it's going to be right side up, part of it's going to be upside down. And I just pulled out all the various cat images that I wanted. This is one single signature for this because it is an envelope, so it's one signature. And there's just a variety of junk papers in here. This is drawing paper. This is some kind of heavier manila drawing paper of some kind. Some old graph paper. Here's another one of the kitty images. He's laying on a porch rail, which I think is really cute. I love these calendar pages. And as I was going through here, the calendar pages, so this is from 2020, I think. The interesting part about it is there's some places in here that still has my husband's handwriting. And I like handwriting, and so I will not cover this up. I'll do something to kind of keep those, just for nostalgic purposes. Again, some of the pages are right side up. One of the things that's neat about this graph paper, or some of the graph paper I have, not this particular one, but some of it is squares on one side and lines on the other, so that's kind of interesting. Ledger paper. There's another one of the kitty images. Isn't he cute? That kitty's face is Chance. I'm sure that's what Chance was like when he was a baby. Let's see, is this, yeah, graph paper. So these charts came out of an old book that I had. There's the center of the signature. And I just put in as many pages as I thought I could fit in here. So here's the rest of the kitty. I love these calendars, these calendar pages. I usually buy this cat calendar every year because I love the images. And there's the rest of it. So I just wanted you guys to see, because we had kind of worked on this together at one point, so I wanted you to see what it looked like. Very good, Ruth. Very good. Okay, so that is that. So those two books are done. I mean, made. They're created. They're nothing in my space is ever done. Okay, never, never, never. So I was looking for another book, and I'm thinking about using this children's book to do this, but I could maybe use this other one that I'm looking at now that I'm looking at it, because actually I like the size of this book. We'll look at it. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this book, I'll show it to you. I was looking for books in my stash of things to make this next book, which is called a pocket book. So it's a whole book of pockets. And you have to rip out a whole bunch of pages. And I saw this and I thought, oh, I think I might kind of like to keep this book. But believe me, every bit of this information is online. There's no reason to have to keep it other than, I really like the imagery in it. I like the illustrations. So I don't know, I may keep this for reference because I like this one. The other one, and it's got a lot of things all the way throughout, a lot of information, a lot of good illustrations. See, I told you would hear Chance when he showed up. So I may keep this one. It's pretty nice, actually. But this one we may tear apart because it is useless, in my opinion. Yes? Well, hi. Are you coming over to see everybody? Huh? Are you coming over to see the world? Did you wake up? Did you wake up? All right. Well, come on. Your adoring fans want to see you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come here. Okay. Okay. Come here. Come here. Your adoring people would like to say hello to you. And here he is, the sponsor. Yeah, my mama is right. Here he is, your adoring fans. Chance, look in the camera. Can you look in the camera? See? Can you say hello? Can you say hi to the world? Well, I got you. I got you. I got you. You're okay. Can you say hi to everybody? This is Chance, in case you're new and you've not ever seen him before. He is one of our sponsors. We had two. Woof. We had two. Charlie passed away over a year ago now, if you can believe it. Yes. And boy, was he happy when I got home. Oh my goodness. He did not have any desire whatsoever to be separated from me. In fact, I have a perfectly adorable picture of him. I tell you, kids, grandchildren, grandchildren and pets, everybody could just be, totally bored out of their skulls, having to be subjected to this. But this was the night I got home, and he was sitting on my lap, and he just kept turning his head upside down, looking at me like, "Are you really here? Are you really here?" Yeah, so he thought he was pretty. He thought he was just, I might have been a figment of his imagination. He was so very, very, very connected to Charlie, and I didn't know how Chance would survive without him, and he's done pretty well, except he's substituted me for Charlie. So instead of 2 sponsors, we have 1 sponsor. You just flipped spit all over your head. That's disgusting. He gets up here and he starts drooling, and yeah, it's the only time he does it. I know, right, Joan? I am his people. I am his people. So anyway, he's here. He's in good shape. He's loving his wet cat food. He's 16, and I figure, what the heck? I'm gonna let him eat what he wants and do what he wants. And he is a very happy boy right now. Hi, Angie. He's not quite as skinny as he used to be, so that's good. Although his spine is probably never gonna gain much weight. But he's 16, so he's a very good boy, and he has a lot of company. So yeah. Okay, can you get off and go in the other room now? Yes, I may have to stop and give him some catnip here in a minute. Anyway, okay, so let's take a look at this book. We're gonna do this because I thought it would just be fun to do it based on, we'll kind of follow the instructions in Natasha's book about making a pocketbook, an altered book of pockets, and I thought, well, we might just do that, okay? So if you guys want to work along with me, you're welcome to do that. I have not pre-read this. We're just going to do it together and see what happens, okay? Hi, Barbara Every. Good to see you. So what we're going to do, I only read the first couple of pages, and that's it. So what she's done here is chosen a book with stitched in signatures. And so that's what I've chosen. However, this book that she's working in doesn't have as many signatures as mine does. So we're going to kind of make do as we go along. What? Note the condition of the pages, as sturdy pages are preferable to brittle pages. Well, my pages are probably quite brittle, and so we're just gonna see what happens. Okay? All right. So I'm here where we're gonna remove pages, and we're gonna remove pages. She kept 45 pages in her book, including the end pages. So she got rid of a lot of pages in her book. So I don't know. We're just going to go with it and see what we can do. Okay? All right. So before I start that, I'm going to have to give Chance a little catnip. Yeah. Yes. You got to have some catnip. Because you just need it? All right, come on. There you go. Okay, there you go. Crazy cat. We have lots of Barbers here today. It must be the name to have today, huh? this, the How To Journal book. What is the name of that book? Oh, the journal book is Treasure Bookmaking. Treasure Bookmaking. I don't have on a flannel shirt because it's too hot. Yes, it's too hot. And that's the author, Natasha. You can find it, I'm sure, on Amazon or wherever. She's here on YouTube. That's the book. Okay, so here's the book that we're going to play around with. Ann Laura probably enjoyed this book. By Carolyn Sure. I can't read that for sure. Kind of looks like Sherwin, but I'm not sure. I think it is Sherwin Bailey. Stories Children Need. I don't know where exactly this came from. It was on my bookshelf, and I have no idea why I had saved this book. Maybe because of the age. I don't know. The pages are not in great shape, but it tells you how to use the book. This was published in 1916, and anybody that says you got to keep this book, yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm going to tear it up. But here are the table of contents. Stories that aid to verbal expression. Apperceptive stories. I don't even know what apperceptive means. I did not look that up. Hey, Devin. A bevy of Barbara's is correct. Sense stories. Suspensive stories. Stories of strongly marked climax. We won't go there. Stories that develop the child's emotions. Stories that train the imagination. And dramatic stories. And the one that I opened to a little while ago and read a little bit of was in this section. Stories that develop a child's emotion. Let's see if I can find that again. Maybe 222, 23. I'll see if I can find it because I just randomly opened it and read some of it, and I'm like, what is that? I mean, you would definitely not read these to children today because you'd probably traumatize them. I don't see it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, some of it is really quite traumatizing. So anyway, we're going to come over here, and this is a stitched book. I don't know if you can see, but there is stitching in here. So the signature is right there. You can see one of the stitches. And so the encouragement here is to remove pages starting in the middle of the signature. And we'll see how much patience I have with this, because I generally don't have much patience with this kind of thing. But the theory behind this, just so you know, the theory behind this is when you take signatures or pages out from the middle of a signature, and see that one broke, so that's why it's not going to work so well. When you take them out from the middle of the signature, you get both pages instead of just one page. And and so it will not fall apart. The theory is the book won't fall apart because you're removing an entire page, okay, like this. You're removing the whole thing. If you only take one page, you're eventually going to find the other part of it. The other part of it is going to pull out of your book. Okay, my theory about that is if it pulls out like that, then just fix it, just repair it. So this is another signature here, and so I think actually we're going to leave that one alone. So we're going to come over to this one. That's what I was trying to do, was to find all these signatures before I started streaming, but there's a lot of signatures in this book. but you need to remove a significant number of the pages when you're going to do this, because we're going to fold this into pockets. All right, so if you have patience with me, I will look for more signatures. And so while I do this, we will have a chat about perfectly useless facts, because in my opinion, this is a perfectly useless book. Now, not everyone would agree with me, and that's okay, but in my opinion, this is a perfectly useless book. And I'm going to give up pretty quickly trying to find the middle of signatures in this, because they're not, the middle is not very easy to find. Well, and you can see if you put too much pressure on it, the pages come apart like that. You know, it's like, too bad, so sad. Okay, perfectly useless fact. You ready? These are very scary kids' stories. Useless fact number 1. Did you know that Kermit the Frog was left-handed? I didn't know a frog could identify which-handed he was, but, you know, he was. According to the perfectly useless facts. Kermit the Frog, who is a puppet, by the way, in case you didn't know, is left-handed. Okay? You're welcome. Yes, I know, and you're welcome. I know you were just all sitting, waiting with bated breath for me to enlighten you with which-handed, which-footed. I don't know, do frogs have, they don't have hands. I don't think Kermit the Frog had a hand, did he? I don't know. Yes, but you're welcome for that perfectly and completely useless fact. Yes. Okay. So now this next question is a test. Okay. Do you know how old the person was that designed the state flag of Alaska? Do you know? Lefties tend to be very creative. I am so heavily right-handed that, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so we're just going to start, you know, at this point I'm just going to pull pages out because I'm tired of looking for those. If I happen to run across the center of a signature, I'll pull pages out at the center of the signature, but other than that, we're just going to go through here and we're just going to rip out pages. No, good guess, Ruth, but no, he was not old as dirt. It was male. It was a male. Anybody have any idea how old he was, according to the perfectly useless facts that I have at my disposal? Anybody? Hey, CB. Left-handed people and frogs are the only ones with the right mind. Well, now, CB. Hello, by the way. I'm not sure you're correct about that. Possible, though. That could explain a lot about me. Nobody knows? No, he wasn't 50. He wasn't 7. He was 13. Can you imagine a 13-year-old designing the state flag for a state? That's according to what the information was that I had. I know. Andrea's kitty is left-handed. That's great. I think that would be referred to as left-pawed, but you know. Southpaw, left paw, yeah. Okay, next one. Every president, well, I mean, this kind of goes without saying, but every president of the United States has worn what? Anybody know? Left-handed people are right side dominant in their brain, hence right minds. Got you, CB. You're too smart. No, that could be McKay's. Is it McKay or Mary Kay? I don't know. That could be, but that wasn't the useless fact I was going for. This other one is, no, a suit obviously seems obvious too, but that's not the answer according to my useless facts. You just don't realize until you start going through a book like this, you don't realize how much language has changed and how much, like, you know, what is accepted, what's the correct or acceptable vernacular in today's speech, you know, until you start going through stuff like this. Anybody? Anybody? Yes, Devin, exactly. Spectacles, yes. So glasses or contact lenses. That goes without saying, don't you think? Because of the age of the president. I mean, pretty much everybody over the age of 40 or 50 is going to wear glasses or some kind of vision correction. So I think that kind of goes without saying, but you know. Anyway, there is that. Okay, next. Charlie, okay, who knows the occupation of Charlie Brown's father? Yes, this is important, and you must have this information in your head. You must. This is very important. Charlie Brown's father was what? Who knows? Who knows? Speak up. I know you guys have got your Googling going like crazy. I know you do, because you're all a bunch of cheaters, just like me. When somebody asks a question, the first thing I do is go, check it on, you know, who does Goggles say? As Janet Young likes to say. Goggle it up. That's what she says. Oh, he's talking because he's back behind door. No, he's back here behind this door, and he wants out. But that's too bad. Plus, he's high on catnip by now, so it's, you know, he's okay. Anybody know? What occupation did Charlie, what did I say? Charlie Brown? Yeah, Charlie Brown's father. Yes, Ann-Lar. Ann-Lar gets it. Star for you, Ann-Lar. He was a barber. I know. Is that amazing or what? I didn't know that. I had no idea. I know that I'm flipping pages and probably making all kinds of racket here, but this is how we're going to get this job done because I didn't get it done before today. Yes, Ann-Lar. And you're quick on the Googling. Did you know that, or did you Google it up? True confession. You looked it up. Okay. All right, next. Are you ready for the next one? You ready? Make sure you guys are on live chat. So if you see live down in the corner and it's not either in red or with a red dot beside it, click the word live so you're in the live chat, so you're up to speed. Otherwise, sometimes it can lag and it puts you behind, and so you're actually hearing me way after I've moved on. That probably didn't make any sense, but you got the idea. Okay, next question, or next thing. What is significant about the writing of Tom Sawyer? What is significant about the novel Tom Sawyer? Hey, Xandra. Scraps to beauty, Xandra. Good to see you. What is significant about the writing of the novel Tom Sawyer? And I expect you guys to dazzle people at your next dinner party. Like we all go to dinner parties. I expect you to dazzle people with your brilliance of trivia. Yes, I do. I expect you to take all these things to heart and dazzle people. Okay? Oh, nobody's biting on this one. Anne should bite on this one since she was a school teacher. What is significant about the writing of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer? Anybody? Well, yeah, but not exactly. The actual mechanical writing of it is what I'm asking for. Anybody? I'll give you a hint. It was the first novel written on a... Now, if you can't get it from there, I don't know. It was not a computer, okay? It was not a computer. I will tell you that much. It was not a computer. Typewriter. Yes, ma'am. You are correct. Ding, 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 ding on a typewriter. Anybody here remember typewriters? I was talking about typewriters the other day. When I was trying to think if it was 8th grade, after my 8th grade year or my 9th grade year. I don't remember which. It was one of those two. My mom made sure that I took typing. So she signed me up for a course in typing that was at a local college because she wanted me to make sure that I had a skill. She didn't know how to type, but she thought it was good that I'd have that skill in case I needed to become a secretary. And so I learned to type. I couldn't even imagine what the point of this was. I mean, that is how naive I was. I truly couldn't imagine why I would need to learn how to type. It's a good thing I did because I typed a bunch. My dad wrote articles for a paper, and I used to type up his articles. I could type way faster than he could do the hunt and peck method. You know, my dad was a university professor. He used 2 fingers, and he could type pretty fast, and he was fairly accurate. But that was back in the day, the typing. When I learned how to type, you didn't have correction paper. You didn't have correction fluid. You had the good old-fashioned typewriter eraser. And if you weren't real careful, you'd go right through that paper with that rough old eraser, and if you erased a hole in the paper, guess what you got to do? Go back to the drawing board and type the whole darn thing over again. Yes, exactly, Devin. Exactly. Gordy. I lost track of the times that I typed the phrase, what is it, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but I typed that because it used all of the letters on the keyboard. And so you had to, because there were some letters you didn't use very often, you know, like X and Z, you didn't use those very often, and so you'd have to go back and everything was about accuracy and timing. So we would have timed writings, so they would set a timer, or I don't know what kind of timer it was. It wasn't digital because I'm old enough to be before digital. I know I don't look like it. I know I don't. I look far too young for that. However, I am. But you would have to go through, you'd have to trade papers, and you would have to trade papers with your neighbor, whoever it was that you got assigned to trade papers with. and you'd have to read whatever the thing was that everybody just typed, and you'd look for errors. And so however many minutes it was, you know, that you were given to type the thing, then you had to also, you had to talk, you know, it was, I've forgotten how we did that. It seems like you did, like if you had 2 errors out of 100 words or whatever, you know, you'd have to write that 2 over 100 or whatever. I don't remember. It's too long ago. Too long ago. QWERTY was developed to slow people down as they kept tangling up the keys. Well, that I did not know. That is good information there, Ruth. See? Another perfectly useless fact that explains something that none of you knew that you needed to know. And you're welcome for that. Sphinx or black quartz, judge my vow. Is that another one? She graduated in 1980, so that is to tell you anything we had typing in school. You did have typing in school or no? Hey, Krissa. I learned to type pretty darn fast, and I was pretty accurate. But I took that class in the summer because of my mom, because she was determined I would need to be able to support myself, and being a secretary, of course, was the only way to do that. Anyway, thankfully, I was only a secretary for my husband, and I wasn't really a secretary for him, but anyway. Okay, so I have ripped out a whole bunch. We'll move forward with this in a minute. Hello, Nanette. I am fine, Krissa. I hope you are as well. In order to keep selling typewriters, they had to slow John Q. Public down. That is great. You did have typing in school in 1980. There you go. There you go. Interesting. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Well, what I was going to tell you is that after that summer where I did typing, thanks to my mother, and it was good that I did that. It was good that I learned. Although it didn't, you know, initially made no sense to me, because it made no sense that a lot of fibers in this book pulling apart. It made no sense to me the way the keyboard was laid out. None of it made any sense to me. And then, oh, heaven help me, when they had to use numbers and the symbols under the numbers, I was like, oh, just trying to remember those, you know, so that you keep your eyes on the copy while you're typing away over here. And it's like, oh, you know, when it came to numbers, I would always have to slow down. Anyway, so that was that summer. I think it was in 8th or 9th grade. Anyway, the next year I signed up for typing in school, and I was so far ahead of everybody because nobody there had typing before, and so it took about a semester and everybody caught up to me. I did play the piano. Yeah, it made a big difference if you played the piano or a clarinet or a flute or a saxophone, any instrument like that where you had to use, you know, your fingers independently. It made a huge difference in your speed in typing. Any of the kids that had never done any of that didn't have the muscle development and the independent eye-hand coordination, eye-finger coordination that you had if you'd done that. So, yeah, the timed writings, oh, they were something. Yep, my hand and my brain, my fingers and my brains were already one of those connections that was good. Hello, Orange from New Mexico. Welcome. Anybody that I didn't say hello to, I'm really glad you're here. Shoo, we were told that that QWERTY was made so that it was easier to access frequently used alphabets. Oh, interesting. See, all kinds of useless facts that you didn't know you needed. You're welcome. You are so welcome. Because I'm educating you. It's my job. It's my job. All right, let's look at this for a minute. So here is the book, Stories Children Need. All right, so that is what it looks like at the moment. And this is how much I ripped out of it. Okay, so these are the pages that I took out of the book. And I might still have to rip some more pages out of this. I don't know. It looks like right about in here. Then I might need to take out a few more. So let's take out a few more here. Oh, here's the center. I think this is the middle signature. That would be good. Let's try this. Yeah. Okay. That way we can take out a few more right here in the middle of this signature. This book is real tough to see where the middle of the signatures are. Let's see, any place else? Maybe in this one. By some stroke of luck, I opened to the part where the center of the signature was, so we'll take out a little bit more. Okay. So we'll look at it, and that looks kind of like maybe in here there might take out a few more in this one. I'm trying to get it kind of evenly torn apart here. It looks like it might be. Okay, good enough. I know, Denise, right? Yeah, it probably makes a lot more sense now that I've ripped out all these pages. It really probably does. Okay, let's look at Natasha's book here, and let's see what we can do. Okay, so we've removed the pages, and we're just doing this based on her instructions. No matter what I think, or if I do it differently, we're going to try and do it her way, sort of. Okay? As much as I can. Although I hardly ever follow anybody's instructions exactly the way they do it, but that's okay. Well, we're going to try. So we've removed pages, like as she said, and see how she's got it kind of balanced here. That's what I was looking at in this, across the spine, kind of looking for some kind of balance. I'm not sure that I've got it as balanced as she did, but you know, c'est la vie. Okay. So next, we will start at the first page and proceed in order, working page by page toward the end of the book. All right, well, we'll try that and see how that works out. All right, you ready? The first page is folded in half lengthwise and glued shut. Okay. All right, so we'll do that. Apply glue to the top and bottom of the folded page and glue it onto the cover, creating a side-loading pocket. All right, Natasha, let's try that. Okay, so first page, that would be of this one. And so maybe what we're going to do here is we're going to take these two pages together, because you know you got to make it your own, right? You got to make it your own a little bit. So let's just, so it'll make a nice kind of sturdy-ish pocket. Let's see how this works. Okay, let's see if the book closes. It does. Okay. So, we'll see if we can use this glue. This is Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky. So, let's see if we can do this. Because really, these two pages function as one. I should have bought a brand new bottle of tacky so that it would be easier to get out of the bottle. All right. Alright, what I'm doing there is just simply gluing those pages to each other. Okay? Alright, then we're going to glue the ends here. And here. And then see if we can come down here. Just kind of glue these together. Whoops, I just got a little vigorous with my glue nozzle. Okay, so I've got those glued together, and now we're just going to glue the ends. And if I screw this up, as I've said, if I should happen to screw this up, we'll rip it out or make an adjustment. It does not matter. Okay? One of the people who is so good at doing this kind of stuff is Crafting Mama's Shelley. She has, I'm sure those videos are still up on her channel, but she has done some really neat pocket ideas in her junk journals that she's done. So I would encourage you to look up Shelley's channel and take a look at that. Now this is vulnerable here, so probably if this doesn't, depending on what happens here, we'll probably have to patch that, right? Yes, ma'am. The glue always available in the bottle. Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Okay, so there's our pocket, right? There's our pocket. Okay. All right, good enough. And if I need to, I'll come back and reinforce it with glue. We're just going to keep going here, okay? Hello, Catherine. Good to see you. All right, so we've done that. Okay, first page we've done. Next, pocket number 2 requires 2 pages. Okay. Fold the first page diagonally by simply taking the right top corner of the page and folding it towards the spine. Crease well and glue the folded page down. Turn the page. Apply glue on the left bottom of the first page as indicated. Glue to the second or next page to create a top loading pocket. Okay, what are we doing now? Okay, I get this part. Okay, I got that. Turn the page. Apply glue on the left and bottom of the first page as indicated, which would be this, I suppose. Glue the second or next page, creating a top loading pocket. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can do this. So this went this way. I think, shall we do this just like this? Or shall we glue these 2 pages together? Since these pages are since this book is a little sketchy, we're gonna like glue these 2 pages together. And we'll treat them as one, okay? So, we're not I told you I would try to follow her instructions, but, you know, sometimes you have to adapt as you go along, you know? Oh, this glue does not want to come out of this bottle very easily. Okay, we're going to put those 2 pages together just because we need to. Okay. Chris, I just saw your question. You wonder if I have ever crocheted or macrameed something. I have done both. I'm much better at crochet than I am macrame. Okay, so this is going to go this way. Okay, so this is going to go this way. And then I think that we may reinforce this right here before we go any further. Yes. Okay, so on this one, she glued this all the way. This page is glued all the way. All right, you ready for another perfectly useless fact? Here we go. Benjamin Franklin once designed what denomination of money, paper money, that was never actually used? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody know? Okay, so on this one, this is going to glue here to make a pocket along this edge and this edge. And mine is not in a soup can, mine is in a tea can. It's very true, Catherine. I was supposed to be a concert pianist. You know what? I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. So I didn't. Okay, I have some of this actually sitting on my desk that I never put away. So let's see if there's anything in here. It has tape on it that we can use to reinforce this page here. How about this one? So we're going to leave this whole bunch of stuff on my desk just because we might use it. What is this? What's on this page? Anything? Oh, there's some more of that red fabric from the Duck Company. I don't think you can find those anymore, but all right, we're going to put some of this on here just because I want to reinforce this. It is a junk journal after all. No, paper money. Paper money. What denomination of paper money? Okay, so we're going to take this. This is fabric too, by the way, I think. Is that what this is? I think it's fabric that I used and made tape out of it. No, it wasn't the $2 bill. It's one that was never ever used. It's a good guess, though, Evelyn. I'm just going by this information also that that was in this perfectly useless facts publication. And see, it's in print, so it must be right, right? Anybody? Anybody? It's one I'd never even heard of. I didn't even know existed. Okay, we're going to go. Well, we're going to have to leave that. I was going to pull it back up, but not going to happen because if I pull it back up, I'm just going to rip the paper. All right. All right, that way we at least have something kind of supporting that. And then, you know what? I'm going to put one more piece down here, except we're going to use a totally random other. This is also fabric. So we're going to do another random piece of whatever down here in a different color. Okay, you ready? Here's the answer. Benjamin Franklin once designed an $8 bill. See if you can confirm that. I haven't confirmed any of these. This is just coming off a list. An $8 bill. I don't even know why a person would need an $8 bill. But apparently Benjamin, dear Benjamin, thought that that's what we needed. Okay, let's see if we can do this and make it straight. Even though it's a junk journal, I do have this compulsion to make things kind of straight-ish. Alright, so we've kind of supported that a little bit. And we've got this, whoop, we glued that together, didn't mean to. So we now have a top loading pocket here. We have a side loading pocket here. Okay? An $8 bill. Anybody want to confirm that? Okay, moving on. What's the next one? Let's see what she says next. Okay, so we got that. All right, pocket number 3 requires 1 page. Fold in half lengthwise. Open the page and cut out an opening, and then apply glue on the right side of the page and the bottom. Glue it down. This creates a narrow pocket for a tag or a bookmark. Okay, what? Open the page. Okay, fold the page. See, I try to do things ahead of time. All right, we're going to skip this one because it wants to do something funky. Okay, fold it in half. Okay, fold it in half. That was the first instruction. Okay, all right, so we've done that. And then what? Open the page to cut an opening and then apply glue. Okay, so the opening is here. Apply glue on the right side of the page and the bottom and glue it down. Okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to cut an opening. Okie doke. Let's draw it first because I'm not so good at winging it sometimes. Let's find something to draw around, shall we? She wants me to make a slit. It doesn't look like that. It looks like she actually cut a shape. Well, that's what we're doing. Whether that's correct or not, we're just going to cut a shape. See? Look. See, there's a shape cut out. See? So, yeah. So we did. We cut out a shape. I don't know. Might not be right, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to go down this edge. You know, this could be an epic fail, you guys. That's okay. If it is, it is. And then, so it was down the right side and across the bottom, she said. So that's what we're doing. This is a good test case to see if we can follow instructions. Can we follow directions? Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'm terrible at directions. It's much easier for me to make it up as I go along. All right, now let's see if I got a bookmark over here. I normally have a whole bunch of bookmarks. Oh, let's see. Probably don't have one that is narrow enough for this pocket. We'll just go in here. So, this will work, except the glue is not dry. But that is the concept, that would, imagine that stuck down in that flap. And this particular bookmark is pretty narrow. Let's see. Here, we can use this one because this one has plastic on it, so we can use this one. Okay, so there you go. Kind of got the idea of a bookmark in there. Okay. And it shouldn't stick in there. Although what we're going to do on this one, because these pages are a little fragile, we're going to look in this loveliness. Okay, there's a page. There's another one. Let's see. Is this long enough? Oh, it's just perfect. It's perfect. Okay, let's reinforce this, shall we? You can't fill out forms either, Ruth? Goodness, poor thing. I understand. Sometimes I do okay, sometimes I don't. Okay, next useless fact. Do you know how long a jiffy is? Do you know how long a jiffy is? Okay, now this could be absolutely crooked. And you know what? It does not matter if it's crooked. This is tape that I made myself. It's done on deli paper. No, a jiffy is not a foot long. And I don't mean by measurement. I mean, what do I mean? How do I explain this? It is a measurement, but it's a time measurement instead of a length measurement. About half as long as a tidbit. I don't know, that could be. No, it's even shorter than that, Catherine. Yes. Hi, Miss Sally K. Yeah, it's like that. I'll be with you in a jiffy. But how long is that jiffy? How long is that jiffy? Okay. We're just making this up as we go along, you guys. It just doesn't make any difference, really, does it? Because we're just having fun anyway. Anybody know? No, it's much shorter. A nanosecond is probably the closest description we have so far. Oops, where did that go? This is it. Okay. Why do I keep dropping this? You must not be very sticky. Did I not get... Oh, I didn't get all the paper off. That's why. Okay, let's put this on here just because we can. It's not sticking. I don't know why. This whole reinforcement of this may not have worked. So I may have to come back and glue it. Glue this tape on. If we do, we do, you know. Okay, stick on there. Stick, darn it. Why aren't you sticking? That is weird. Did I not? Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Hello, Mina. Okay, so the length of a jiffy, according to these useless facts, is 1/100th of a second, which is where the saying "I'll be there in a jiffy" comes from. Okay, 1/100th of a second. That's pretty short. And I don't know about you, but I can't get anywhere in a jiffy, you know? Okay, so I have glued that, which is not good, or taped it. All right, let's see. Can you fit in there, love? Can you fit in there? Okay, good. Okay, so there's our thing for a bookmark. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but there you go. We did it. Okay, next, the Empire State Building has how many windows? You have any idea how many windows the Empire State Building has? Well, you figure that out. Let's go to the next one, okay? So we've had 3 kinds of pockets so far. Next one. Pockets 4 and 5 require 3 pages. Cut out a large triangle opening on the first page. Glue the top and bottom of the first page to the second page. Cut out a smaller triangle opening. Glue the top and bottom onto the third page. As a result, you have 2 side-loading pockets formed, layered on top of one another. Okay. Seems like you might be better off, just thinking, you might be better off to fold them. Can't really. No, you gotta glue them. Okay. Okay. Let's skip over a couple of pages, because this is kind of a vulnerable section right in here, so let's use that. Okay? All right. I have a ruler here and a big fat pencil, so let's just use this. And all right, we want, okay, where's my, where is, there's 45-degree angle there. Okay. Okay, let's come down like this. See if we can. Okay, it's not going to be perfect, but you know, it's a junk journal in an old book that I don't care about, so it does not matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to cut this out. No, this is useless facts. A sausage would make too much sense. Okay, the Empire State Building has how many windows? 6,514. Well, according to this information right here, Mina, or Catherine, we will give that to you, because the information I have that I'm working from says 6,500. Close enough, my friend. Close enough. Yes, indeed. Close enough. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so we're going to glue this to this. But they're not going to be perfectly, let's see. What'd she glue? Okay. Sorry, I gotta clip my book so it stays open. It wants to go shut on me. Okay, 6,500 windows according to this. All right, so we're gonna glue these 2 pages together. I'm also going to put a little bit of glue in here just to see if we can support this a little bit. This may be a big mistake, but you know, oh well, too bad. We don't care. We don't care. It would be better if you had sturdier pages. This book is pretty fragile. So, alright, we're going to glue this together like this. So these pages are not going to be even out here, but I'm doing that on purpose. And if you were going to ink and do all kinds of other great techniques, you would probably be well advised to do that before you glue the edges down. Okay, but it doesn't matter because that's what we're doing. Okay? Bye, Joan. Thanks for coming. I don't want to wash those windows either, believe you me. I don't even wash my own windows. We used to have a company here, I think they're still around, called Shepherd's Company. And they would wash windows, and I employed them to wash my windows once in a while. And they were so reasonable in price. And the last time I asked them to wash my windows, I'm like, whoop, I think I'm going to have to wash my own windows. It was a little too pricey for Barb. They called on me when I had my retail store, and they would wash my windows, my storefront windows, because, you know, I had to keep that up. I could deal with dirty windows at home, but not at the business. I'll tell you a story about them, though. This is in my naive days, my extremely naive days, by the way. I did not know that, what shall I call them, houses of ill repute existed in our community. And I certainly didn't know that they were within, you know, I figured they were out in the country or something, you know, but no, no, the business that the place where I rented for my retail business, which was a knitting machine business. I sold European knitting machines, and I sold classes and yarn and supplies and stuff for the knitting machines, because it was a big thing back then. Next door to my store was a business, it's no longer there, called Okinawa Spa. Okay, the Okinawa Spa. It was a bona fide legal because they couldn't shut it down, because it was very shall we say craftily done. They knew what to do in order to stay legal. They knew what they could get away with, and they knew how to do it and how to get around all the legalities. Okay. Oh yes, it should be inked before gluing. It should, but I'm not taking the time to do that. I'll struggle with that later. It's fine. It's just fine. I'll struggle with that later. Yeah. So, Okinawa Spa was my next door neighbor. We shared a wall. And I will tell you that I heard quite a few things through that wall I didn't really want to hear. Yeah, it was quite an education. I didn't know things like that. I even talked to a friend who was on the police force, and I said, why can you not do something about this? Because they knew exactly what it was. I said, why can't you do, because it was open 24 hours a day, right? I said, why can't you do something about this? And they said, because they're really good at knowing exactly what they can get away with. They know what to do. And so they would do something, they would perform an action, if you catch my meaning. So if they sent somebody in that was undercover, the girls would do something, perform an action of some kind first, so that the detective or the police sergeant or the whomever could not testify against them because they would have the information about whoever was trying to trap them. So they would do something first, and then they would negotiate. They would never accept money first. Yeah, it was great. It was just great. Well, anyway, the business that washed my windows, at that time, this was years and years and years ago, they were relatively new in the area, and it was actually a commune sort of place. Okay. And so the commune, I'm going to have to reinforce this a little bit more. So this commune was the people that were there were even more naive than I was. And I was pretty naive back then. I was pretty young, in my 30s. And yeah, so it didn't take me too long to figure out what was going on over there because, like I said, you could hear things, right? And so these guys from this commune that were window washers, and they were great. They were good. They were always on time. They always did, they did a great job and all that. Well, one day they said, one of these guys he said, how about your neighbors? Do you think that, he says, it looks like they need their windows washed. And I said, well, they probably do. And he said, well, could you give us a good recommendation? And I said, well, I never see them because they don't come outside. They don't come out. And he's like, they don't come out? And I go, nope, they don't come out. Well, why don't they come out? He says. And I said, well, because I think they're busy. And he's like, they're busy doing what? We'll go back down here. So what I did here was just reinforce this with a little, I patched that a little bit more just to support this page right here. This is pretty fragile paper, so, we're going to have to kind of work with it. This may just be an idea book for what to do in the future on other things because of its fragility. How do you like that for a $10 word? Anyway, so I said, well, the one thing I would suggest to you guys is that you don't go inside. And he said, well, why? And I said, well, I think you'll figure that out. I would suggest you don't go inside. Because this was a commune with a religious basis. I don't think it's a good idea. So anyway, they indeed went and called on him. So did the Amish when they were selling candy, except the Amish people, the Amish guys that would do that, they would go over there and they would call on these girls, but they would come out and they wouldn't have any candy, but they were in there for a real long time. So I think they were having a good time, honestly, if you understand my meaning. Yeah, so these guys from the commune, okay, so that's what I did. I just glued this into a pocket. So this is a flippy pocket that will hold something, So we got that. Okay, then these two, I just glued these two pages together just to give them a little more support. And then here we have this, which is this pocket back here and this pocket right here. Now, this book, thinking about it now, would have been better if I had glued 2 pages together and then cut this out, and 2 more pages and then cut this out, and that would have given this whole thing more support. This is going to be a little fragile, but it is what it is. Could be just ideas. Can I show my work, please? Which work do you want to see? Which work do you want to see? I'm not sure what you want, Linda. Tell me more. Tell me more of what you want to see. We need a little bit more glue right here. So anyway, yeah, they those were the days back in those days. Those were the days, let me tell you. Okay, so we got that. We got a pocket here. We have a pocket. All right, so pocket book. There's a pocket. There's a pocket. Here's a pocket. Okay, so here's a pocket. Here's a flippy thing. This is just 2 pages glued together. And then we have this, which has pocket there, pocket here. Okay, that's what we've done so far. Okay, so we have that. We'll just leave these stuck in here just so we have a thing that lets us know where we are. Let's see if we can do one more. Well, maybe I'll have to take those out because they don't exactly want to lay down quite right. And when you're working with an old book like this and you rip pages out of it, you're going to find that where things don't want to lay down. They don't want to turn as well because you're asking it to do something it does not want to do. So you kind of have to retrain the pages and the folds and all that stuff. You know, it is what it is. All right, let's do one more and then we'll call it a day. I love useless facts too myself. Yes, I do. Okay, so that was this. Okay, this one, pockets 7, 8, and 9 require 3 pages. All right, let's see what they say. Begin by taking the first 2 pages and making a vertical cut from the edge to the spine. A vertical cut. Okay, vertical cut from the edge to the spine. Isn't that a horizontal cut? From the edge to the spine. All right, so if you turn it this way, it would be vertical. Doesn't really matter. Okay. To make pocket number 7, take the top piece that was cut and make an opening, a half circle or a triangle cut. Okay. Apply glue on the top and bottom of the page and affix it directly onto the page that was cut underneath it. Vertical. Okay, that's okay. So do what now? Make the pocket top piece that was cut. Okay, Barb just may not be smart enough to do this one. Vertical cut from their edges to the spine. The first 2 pages, making a vertical cut from their edges to the spine. Make pocket number 7, take the top piece that was cut and make an opening or half circle or a triangle. Apply glue on the top and bottom of the page and affix it directly onto the page that was cut underneath it. Make pocket number 8, use the bottom and cut 2 cut pages. Make an opening on the first page and apply glue to the right hand and bottom edges, then attach it directly onto the second page underneath. Good grief. Apply glue to the bottom and side of the pocket number 8 and glue it to the full page underneath. Anybody here understand that? Anybody here understand that? This is going this way, so it is actually a horizontal cut. Okay, so we're going to take these pages. We're going to cut this one going this way, taking the first 2 pages and making a vertical cut from their edges to their spine. Okay, 2 pages. Okay, we're going to do 2 pages. Okay, you ready? Oh, my book just went shut. That is not good. The book just flipped shut. This is not good. My goodness, it goes up to 40 in the 40s for the pockets. Good night. Okay, let's come back here. This is where we were. We gotta clip this shut. Okay. All right, so we're gonna make a cut. Like, we're gonna take these 2 pages. These are the ones we want to use. All right, we'll use these 2 pages. I don't know. We'll just use them. Okay, so we're going to make a page. We're going to make a cut right across here. Okay. She said to do 2 pages. If I screw this up, you guys, what we're going to do is make a different pocket. Okay. All right. There's 2 pages cut. All right. What was the next instruction? Now let's read it again. Okay. Then we're going to. So we've done that. Then we're here. So she did a half circle right there. Okay, so this was on the top one. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to draw around this. This is probably way too big, but you know, oh well. Okay, we're only going to take the top piece of paper. Okay. All right, you guys, are you with me? I can heartily endorse that you want to do this with a book that's not quite as fragile on the pages as what this one is. But if I can support it enough from one page to the next, it might be okay. All right, good enough. Now what do we do? So we cut that one out. You only do that on one. Okay, apply glue on the top and bottom of the page and affix it directly onto the page that was cut underneath it. This is going to get glued to this. So it makes, okay, the top and the bottom. Okay, I'm with you now, Natasha. I'm with you. Oh, I'm a little slow on the uptake at the moment. I must be getting tired. A little slow on the uptake here. Okay, we're going to put a little glue here just because it is fragile, which is not what she said, but you know, sometimes you have to adapt a little bit, you know. Okay, there is that pocket, right? So there's that pocket right there. Okay, I don't know, what do you think? Think I did it right? Yes? Chance says I've been doing this long enough. He's ready to come out. Okay, there's that one. Okay, the next one. All right, apply glue on the top and bottom of the page and affix it directly to the page. Okay, that's that one. To make the next pocket, use the bottom 2 pages. Okay, this one and this one. Use the bottom 2 pages, make an opening on the first page, okay, from the top on this one apparently, and apply glue to don't turn 2 pages at once, that is deadly. Okay, so we're going to cut. This time we want to cut this top, but we want to go the other direction. We want to go this way. Okay. All right, we'll see. You guys with me? You think this is right? No mistakes, just happy little pages. I was kind of right. Miss Allie K doesn't have much faith in me today. That's okay. I understand, Allie. Here, we got this. We'll just use this. We'll just mark around that. Okay, this way. Okay, so we're cutting the top part of the bottom one. Ooh. Oh, I almost made a terrible mistake there. I almost ripped the whole page. All right, don't get both pages, just one. Okay. Aren't you guys having fun doing this? Honestly. It's kind of fun to figure something out and see what happens. follow somebody else's directions, which is such a challenge for me. I got to tell you, it's such a challenge. Okay, and then we're going to put, make the pocket, use the bottom 2 pages and apply glue to the right and bottom edge. Okay, right and bottom. Okay, so in this case, all right, we'll use this one. We'll put the glue on this one. Right. I wonder if I'll have any brain cells left after this. This is a stretch for Barb. So the moral of the story from the place next door to me was that the commune people forever and ever after that cleaned those windows, cleaned my windows, and they were happy as could be. I'm like, okay, I told you. All right, the next one, the next part is finally to create pocket number 9, glue, apply glue to the bottom and side of pocket number 8 and glue it to the full page underneath it. Pocket number 8. Okay, the what? Oh goodness, this is stretching me. Finally, to create pocket number 9, apply glue to the bottom and side of pocket number 8 and glue it to the full page underneath it. Okay, so bottom and side of this one to make that, apparently. You think? The bottom and side. Is that what you guys think? Okay, we're going to go the bottom and side of this one. So apparently then what's behind this, theoretically, is another pocket, huh? You think that's right? Okay, there we go. Like this. Okay, so because it required 3 pages, so we now have this pocket, we have this pocket, and we have this pocket. Except this is too wide. Okay, here, we'll use this. This is good enough. So we have this pocket right here. Because if I glued this down, then you would lose this back pocket. That's why that is. Okay, all right. I'm with you, Natasha. I'm with you. I'm with you. So, pocket 1, pocket 2, and then pocket 3. I think we got it, you guys. I think we got it. That's what it looks like to you? Okay, good. All right, so here's our book, Stories That Children Need. Yes, that no one needs of this particular thing. Believe me, and I'm pretty conservative, but even I don't agree with what they were espousing in this book. All right, let's put this glue back together. Hopefully this glue will hold on and stay glued. Anyway, here is our book. Okay, so we have pocket number 1 right here. Okay, pocket number 1. We have pocket number 2 right in here, as long as it stays together and doesn't come apart. We'll probably do quite a bit of reinforcing here and there on this. Pocket, this was another pocket that I did, so I just folded this so that it wasn't as deep as this one. Then we did this one, which now has a space for something narrow, and edged it, reinforced it with some homemade tape. So when that flips over, this is going to be seen. So in order to kind of illustrate that purpose that this is a pocket, let's just put a piece of tape on it just because we can. You know, I think it's good to just have, you know, do a little bit of decorating just because. And this is all scraps, so we're just going to put a piece of tape on there, bend it around. That way we have something that indicates there really is an edge there. Okay, so this is 2 pages just glued together. And then we have a pocket here. And as I said, with a fragile book like this, where the paper is fragile, my recommendation on this would be to glue 2 pages together first and then cut this 2 pages together back there, and then cut that and then glue it together. That's going to make this a lot sturdier. So that would be my first suggestion, alteration. And then this was the next one. This was what we just did. So this was cut across 2 pages, cut this way, which in my book is horizontal, but if you turn it this way, it's vertical. So you take your pick, however you want to look at it. We cut out a circle, half circle right there, and glued this edge. I glued these also to give it a little support. So that one and that one. So that's a flippy pocket by itself. So it could hold a tag here. I have Barbara Clark's tag right here that she sent one time. Will you fit? Might not, since I glued the top edges. No, it will not fit because I glued the top edges. Well, here, we'll pretend this is a tag. Okay, we'll pretend. So that makes this. And then this, we cut a shape out here, glued this to the other part of that. Okay, so it's glued back there, and then this is glued around here to make another pocket. So you got this pocket and this pocket. So you got 2 different pockets with that. And that's how far we are. Okay, so that's how far we are. We've gotten that many pockets, and that takes us up through pocket number 9. So there you go. Okay, what do you think? Is that good? Kind of fun to read somebody else's directions. In my switching device just said it was tired and it wasn't doing one more single thing. It was absolutely not working anymore today. It's worked as much as it possibly can. Yes, Barbara, it is a nice tag. Unfortunately, it wouldn't fit in the pocket because I made the pocket too small. Anyway, there you guys go. You are welcome. And you have learned totally useless facts. Let's go through the last one. The very last useless fact for today. Come back Monday night at 7 Eastern for more useless facts in pockets. Maybe we'll rename the stream from Drama Free Friday to Useless Facts in Pockets. Chickens lay more eggs when pop music is played. And you're welcome. I'm glad you were here to be enlightened by all of these perfectly useless, utterly useless, and stupid facts. It's kind of like stupid pet tricks. All right, I got to tell you, my brain's tired, my body's tired, and I'm hungry, so I'm going to go eat. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you've had fun. I hope you've smiled. I hope maybe you've learned something that you want to use in your journals, or not. Maybe you've just hung out and learned some useless facts. That's okay too. Thanks for being here. I will be back Monday night at 7 Eastern. I will see you guys then. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Do something kind for somebody else. You know, just something kind. If nothing else, smile at them, okay? It is amazing what a smile will do to most people. Although I did have a horrendous experience in the bank, and I'm very ashamed of my reaction, and it didn't involve a smile. It does now, however. I'll tell you that story another time. Remind me. I'll see you guys later. Have a great, super duper weekend. And remember to get creative today, because you know it's easy. I will see you next time. Bye for now.